as pressure. Okay, so here we will understand this with an example. What we have done, we have taken cylinder. One cylinder we have taken, inside that gas is filled, and after filling that gas, what we are doing, we are applying one piston, or you may say a dhakkan to it. Okay, and we are pressing that piston inside this. We are pressing the piston means what is happening, we are applying some pressure. From here, when particles are there, as there is so much space in between these particles, so what is happening here, the piston will move easily inside the cylinder. After some time, what will happen? After some time, the particles get closer, because as we are applying pressure, the particles are occupying the space which is free inside. Okay, so because of what is happening, the particles are getting closer to each other. When we apply more pressure, here we can see as compared to this, the particles are more closer to each other, and we apply more and more pressure, what is happening, that is totally compressed. Okay, so here what is happening, these particles are as much close to each other as the liquid particles are closer to each other. Are you getting my point? So here what is happening, a gas is directly getting converted into a liquid form by compressing, by applying pressure. So by applying pressure, what is happening, the gas is directly getting converted into a liquid state. Yes, so by applying pressure, what we can do, by applying pressure, we can let the particles to come closer, and by coming closer, the state is getting changed. Are you getting my point? See one more example. You have seen that O2 cylinders in hospital, right? Also O2 cylinders are what? O2 is a gas, but in that O2 cylinder, that O2 is filled in which form? It is filled in a liquid form. So how they have filled, how they have prepared that O2 gas into liquid form? By doing this process only, by compressing the O2 molecules, the particles of O2, it is get compressed, and while by compressing, it is converted into liquid state, and that liquid oxygen they have filled inside that oxygen cylinders. Okay. Another example you may take the example of LPG also. LPG, have you know this? Did you know this? LPG is what? Liquid petroleum gas. This gas we use in our home to cook food. Okay. So in that case also, by name it is suggested that it is a gas. But see the first word, that is liquid petroleum gas. So here also we can conclude that the gas is compressed and filled in that cylinder in which form? In liquid form. That's why it has some fixed volume, as gas has no fixed volume. Are you getting my point? In O2 cylinders also they have some fixed volumes. Okay, in LPG also these cylinders have fixed volumes. Another gas is CNG. Full form of CNG is what? Compressed natural gas. By name here it suggests that compressed gas is compressed. So it is compressed natural gas. So compressed natural gas nowadays is using as a fuel. It is used as fuel as it creates less pollution. It harms less to the environment. That's why that is used as a fuel nowadays. Okay. So here we have seen an example what is happening when the pressure is increasing. Now we will see one example where we are decreasing the pressure. Again we will take the example of solid CO2. Solid CO2 is known as what? It is known as a dry ice. Okay. It is in solid form as it has more pressure applied. That's why it is converted into solid form. Now, when we decrease some pressure from that, when we decrease some pressure from that solidified carbon dioxide, what will happen? That carbon dioxide is directly getting converted into its vapor state. Okay, what is happening here? That solidified CO2 is directly getting converted into its vapor state as the pressure is decreased from it. Okay, so here we have seen what is happening with increasing the pressure and with decreasing of pressure. Okay, so here we have completed this with effect of pressure. Now here we are going to see about the interconversion of three states of matter. That is what, see here. Here solid is getting converted into a liquid state with which process? With the process of fusion. Means solid is getting fused, it is getting melted to convert in the state of liquid. Now, this liquid is getting converted into gaseous form by which process? By the process of vaporization, right? By vaporization, this liquid is getting converted into gaseous state. Now, this gas is directly getting converted into solid state. We have learned this. Yes, by which process this gas is getting converted into solid state? It is by the process of sublimation. Okay, now see here. In reversible manner also we can change the state of matter. How? Let's see. This solid is again getting converted into gaseous state. By which process? We have learned this. By the process of sublimation only. Here also by the process of sublimation, gas is getting converted into solid and solid is getting converted into gas. We have seen the example of ammonium chloride, right? Now, this gas is getting converted into liquid state. How? How? By condensation. Condensation is what? Take one example. Just boil a water in a beaker or a container, and what you have to do? You have to keep an lid over it. ढक्कन रख देना है उस पे. What will happen? क्या होगा? When the water starts boiling, what will happen? The vapor will form. And when you have keep that lid on that container, what is happening? The water droplets will accumulate on the lid of the container. Okay. So what here what is happening? That vapor is again getting condensed over that lid, means that this vapor is again converted into the liquid state. So here this process is known as what? Condensation, as the water vapors are again going to condense to form a liquid. So this process is known as what? Condensation. Now this liquid is getting converted into solid. By which process? By solidification. When a liquid is getting solidified is known as solidification. Means when we keep the water inside the refrigerator, the solidification of water is happening. That's why the liquid water is converted into a solid ice form. So the interconversation of states is clear. Okay, now we'll move towards our next terminology, that is evaporation. Process is evaporation. What is evaporation now? It is a surface phenomena in which liquid changes into vapor at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation. Now evaporation, first we will discuss about one example, then the picture will be clear in your mind. What is that? Just take one glass full of water, and what you have to do with it? Just keep that glass at some place where nobody can disturb this. Keep that glass open, okay? For 2 to 3 days, just keep that glass there. And after 2 to 3 days, when you will see, what you will observe? That the level of water there is decreased. So Why it is decreased? This is the question. So this is because of evaporation. Because of what? Because of evaporation only the level of water is decreased. We put our clothes at rope in heat, in direct sunlight, and after some time our clothes get soaked. This is what? This is also because of evaporation. So are you getting my point? We are not giving any extra heat to it. We are not giving any external physical quantity to it. Still it is changing its state. So this process is what? This is evaporation. So now see here, it is a surface phenomena. It is happening on the surface. Okay? No, we are not making any changes inside that. So it is a surface phenomena in which liquid changes into vapor. Liquid is getting converted into vapor form at any temperature below its boiling point. When our clothes are getting soaked, are we giving the temperature that is the boiling point of water to it, as the clothes have water molecules inside that? We are giving that temperature to it? No, we are not giving that temperature. Still it is getting soaked. So changes into vapor at any temperature below its boiling point is called an evaporation. Okay? Now see, there are some external factors which affects the rate of evaporation. And what are these? These are exposed surface area. We will see this first, exposed surface area. What we will do? We will take one mug and here we will take one tumbler. Okay, now here also we fill this with 100 ml of water, and here also we take and fill this with 100 ml of water. Okay, now see, here also the amount of water is 100 ml and here also the amount of water is 100 ml. But in which beaker or in which container the rate of evaporation will be high? Tell me. Here, in tumbler, the rate of evaporation will be high. Why? Because here the surface area is more. Okay? Here the surface area is more. That's why the rate of evaporation depends upon the exposed surface area, and because of that only the rate of evaporation will be high in this case. Okay? Second is temperature. Now, India is a country where in summer season the temperature is so high. Okay, and in rainy season the temperature is low. In winter also the temperature is low. Okay, so in summers when we keep our clothes to get soaked in outside our house at rope, what happens in that case? There in small time, in few minutes the clothes get dried, or you may say in 1 hour or 2 hours our clothes get dried, as the temperature is high. And in winter the temperature is same. Still means you may say the temperature is decreased. So in rainy season also the temperature is decreased by some degrees. So in this case what is happening? The clothes are not getting dried properly as the temperature is decreased. Getting my point? So temperature is also a affecting factor for evaporation, right? Next is humidity. Humidity is what? Humidity means the presence of water molecules in the atmosphere is known as humidity. Now you see, if water molecules are present inside the air or atmosphere, does it absorb the water which is present inside your clothes? Tell me. It will not absorb the water which is present inside your clothes, or you may say the rate at which it will absorb the water or soak the water which is present inside our clothes is very low. So evaporation is also dependent upon humidity. Humidity also affects the rate of evaporation, gets decreased with the presence of humidity. And fourth important factor is wind. What wind used to do? When the wind is fast, the evaporation is fast, and when the wind is slow, the evaporation will be less. So here also wind is directly proportional to the rate of evaporation. Now, is this clear to all of you? Evaporation and the factors affecting evaporation? Right. Now we will learn about that evaporation causes cooling. Why evaporation causes cooling? This we have to learn. Evaporation causes cooling because evaporation is based on the fact that when a liquid evaporates, it takes latent heat of vaporization from surrounding, which on losing heat gets cool. Okay, so it when evaporation uses what? Evaporation uses latent heat of vaporization. We have seen latent heat of vaporization. The amount of heat required to change 1 kg of liquid to its vapor form is known as what? Latent heat of vaporization. So in this case, what is happening? Vaporization, latent heat of vaporization is getting used, due to which when this latent heat of vaporization gets cooled, that surface is getting cooled, cooling occurs. Okay. So here few questions, 3 questions are there in your notebook in your textbook in this chapter evaporation, in this topic evaporation, that are: how does evaporation causes cooling, why should we wear cotton clothes in summer, and why do we see water droplets on the outer surface of a glass containing ice cold water. Now what you have to do with it? You have to read these questions and you have to understand them, and you have to change that questions in your own language, and you have to write that in your notebooks. This is your homework for today. Okay, so if you have any doubt with this chapter, you can ask us. Okay, and keep studying, and just ask your doubts. Okay, now have a nice day.